What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Young Phillip, and I'm back with another video for y'all today. And before we get started with today's video, I would like for y'all to click the like button down below, giving it a thumbs up. Make sure y'all click that subscribe button, but make sure y'all click the bell so y'all can be notified and don't miss any of my videos. We are back with another video for y'all today with a brand new Chappelle Show episode review, and it's the 5th episode of season 1. So without further ado, let's begin. The episode starts off with Dave Chappelle talking about rappers like getting into like business ventures, like getting into having stuff of their own, like how Jay-Z got Armadale. And that's when it builds up to the sketch called Rocket Pads. Something that girls need. Instead of girls just using like regular tampons, try using the Rocket Pads. And a girl feels perfectly fine with the Rocket Pads. And then next was the Red Man Potty Fresh. Imagine you open up your toilet and all of a sudden you see my favorite rapper, Red Man, and he in there with some girl. And then he tells a girl, flush the toilet with your pancake ass, bitch. And then after that, you have another sketch called The Greatest Moments in Hookup History. Mark Johnson is a guy who was desperate for some ass, was failing horribly at some little bar or grill because he couldn't get no cooch. But it was one girl, her name is Ashley Evans, but she's well known as Smashley Evans. She was so drunk she couldn't really drive. She was gonna crash the car if she ever drive. So dude gets up, try to get to the keys, and all of a sudden some random guy just intercepted. And then the guy who intercepted had the police called on him by Mark. And Mark gave Ashley a scarf that wasn't even hers, but she was too drunk to know it. And then he takes her home instead. And that was the greatest moment in hookup history. Then we have, it's not like a long sketch, but it's a little short one. Imagine you see some people from like a different country on the plane, like them Iraq people from Iraq, that type of shit. They on there talking about some American Idol. Then you got some black motherfuckers talking about some, I'm on to you, Osama bin Laden, them Iranian son of a bitches. And then there's a white man talking about some, I need to protect my girl. And then on and on so much. Now, let's talk about the most important sketch of this episode. Ask a Black Dude. But before we get into that one, Dave talks about, people at home might think there's a whole bunch of black people in the studio audience, but really, not only black people are there, but there's some white folks or every other race is there. But there are some questions that white folks have for their black friends, but they don't want to make themselves feel alienated or get beat the fuck up. So he's like, I'm going to promote social dialogue. He decided to get legendary comedian Paul Mooney to answer questions. The first question in Ask a Black Dude, can black guys jump high? He's like, yeah, you gotta jump. You gotta jump. That's what you gotta do when you run from the police. And then a guy with an accent was like, why do black guys walk like this? Can you tell me why? And then he was like, and he mimics the accent. He's like, why do you act like a good guy? Black people walk like that because we have style, we have flavor. The black man on this planet is the most copy man, bar none. Everybody want to be a nigga, but don't want to be a nigga. How about that question? Carol Channing just admitted that she was a nigga. Everybody else need to break down and admit too. And then some African guy with some fucked up ass teeth was like, can you tell us why we black people like to smoke weed? Can you tell me why? So I got a question for that nigga. Like, where are your teeth at, nigga? Black people just like the parties in our blood. It's cool, but sometimes they go overboard with it, and it's sad. And don't ask me about drugs. Ask Bobby and Whitney. And then we get to Inside the Dave Chappelle Studio sketch, where we show off movies that, even though these aren't really real movies, this is just some made up shit. But the first movie they show is him in this movie where he's in the army and he got shot. He's like, "Why, Nixon? Why?" And then we have another sketch where he lives in those times where the guys wear those white powdered wigs and shit. And they like, bibbity bop, and all this other shit. And then the last movie they do is where he plays as like a handicapped man. He's like, "Get your damn hands off of me." And then he falls to the ground. And then a guy has a skateboard nearby. He tries to tell him that his skateboard is right there. He's like, "Shut your damn mouth, you pothead." And he slips onto the skateboard. And he hits his head onto the counter of the restaurant. And he orders some food. And then he accidentally falls back. And then we get a reprise of the Red Man Potty Fresh sketch before the show is over. But with Dave on there. And I think they have a live performance for Fat Joe. And that sums up the 5th episode of Chappelle Show. I'd like to say thank y'all for tuning in to today's video. Make sure y'all click the like button down below. Give it a thumbs up. Make sure y'all click the subscribe button. But make sure y'all click the bell so y'all can be notified. Don't miss any of my videos. Don't forget to add me on my social media at YoungPhilip_00. That's my Instagram. Snapchat, Ryan361005. TikTok at YoungPhilip00. With that being said, I'm out.